years nobody knew what I was building in the margins of the life I had publicly, while the real work was bargaining with every hour I could free from everything that asked for me. 3 years nobody knew is how this man got free. The first year was the hardest because the results weren't visible, and doubt is most convincing when the progress is invisible to everyone, including you. On the worst days of the stretch, 3 years nobody knew is the longest kind of etch. 3 years nobody knew what the silence was producing. 3 years nobody knew what the discipline was choosing over comfort, over credit, over the validation of the crowd. 3 years nobody knew, and then suddenly it was loud. Not loud because I made it, loud because it became undeniable, even to the people who decided I was triable for the crime of quiet ambition in a world that needed proof. 3 years nobody knew is the most expensive truth. The man in the gray suit, looking past the edge of the frame, has another 3 years running that nobody knows by name. Not yet, not until the silence produces again. 3 years nobody knew is where the real ones begin. If you're in the middle of your 3 years and the doubt is coming daily, and the people around you are not seeing it, or maybe actively against it, against the version you're becoming. 3 years nobody knew is the price of what is coming. Stay in it, stay quiet, let the work be the announcement. 3 years nobody knew it's not a punishment, it's the most selected mission to the version of yourself that 3 years nobody knew, built better than anything else. The version nobody met was the one at 26, working nights at a counter, trying to fix the gap between the man he knew he was going to be and the man he was that Tuesday, counting change behind the register. The version nobody met drove 2 hours each direction for a meeting that paid nothing, but taught a lesson about reading men correctly before you let them in your door. The version nobody met is what the current version's for. The version nobody met built everything you see. The version nobody met is the most important me, not the one in the suit, not the one who moves in silence now. The version nobody met is what I made this vow. distance that nobody else can place. They don't see the version that learned this the expensive way. The version nobody made this man who stands today. Is the reason this got done. When you see a man like this, looking past the frame into something only he can put a name to, in the distance of his history, understand what you're really seeing. The version nobody met, still standing, still breathing. By the time you brought it to the table, the decision was already made. Not in arrogance or impatience, but in the work that I had laid down in the months preceding this particular morning's meeting. The decision was already made before the room started speaking. I do my real thinking in the hours that nobody schedules, in the margins of the morning where the quiet settles into something productive, into something I can use. The decision was already made, is how I never lose. You presented your full case, I gave you the full hearing. But because the man deserves the clearing of his full position, before you tell him where you stand, the decision was already made. I just needed to understand. The saxophone tonight the sound of certainty, the particular note a man hits when he finally sees past the noise of what is possible into the clean line of what is true. The decision was already made before I finished my view. The smoke drifts to the left of where the answer was already sitting. The man looks past the frame at the thing that's already fitting into the space he cleared for it. In the planning no one saw, the decision was already made is the most efficient law. When you leave this particular room, you'll understand eventually that the man who sat across from you had already moved mentally 3 steps past the conversation into the execution phase. The decision was already made on much earlier days. That's not coldness, that's not distance. That's the discipline of a man who thinks before the meeting. The decision was already planned. Nothing sounds like this at 2 in the morning, when the city has stopped pretending, and the only warning of anything existing is the breath and the burn. Nothing sounds like this is the hardest thing to learn. I've tried other music for the hours that this covers, tried the upbeat and the hopeful, and the ones that uncover emotions built for daylight, for the social and the scene. Nothing sounds like this for the hours in between. The dark blues knows the specific weight of a man who's done the day, not defeated and not finished, just temporarily away from the version of himself that the morning will require. Nothing sounds like this for the man who's still on fire. The saxophone that plays in the register of 3 a.m. understands a language that most people never comprehend, because they're not awake for it, because they're not the kind. Nothing sounds like this for the particular mind. The cigarette, the smoke, the suit still on the body, the look sideways at the distance where the next thing waits already. For the man who hasn't slept yet, 'cause the thinking isn't done. Nothing sounds like this before the rise of the next sun. If you're hearing this right now, at whatever hour you're in, something in the melody is reaching underneath your skin, to the part that nobody sees, to the part that doesn't perform. for something worth the silence, worth the years and worth the cost. Nothing sounds like this, is the music of the almost lost, who found their way regardless. I don't ask the smoke where it's going, it already knows. It doesn't console anybody, it just rises and it flows into whatever space receives it, without apology or plan. Smoke knows the answer to the question of this man. I've been making decisions the way the smoke makes its path, not in a straight line always, but always with the math of what the air allows, of what the current permits. Smoke knows the answer is where this life fits. Smoke knows the answer before the question's asked. Smoke knows the answer through the present and the past. It doesn't explain itself, it doesn't hold its ground. Smoke knows the answer is the most profound. There's a freedom in the formless that the structured man can't feel. The smoke has no appointment, no contract and no deal to honor by a certain hour in a certain kind of room. Smoke knows the answer is the most honest kind of bloom. The man looking sideways in the gray of the frame has been watching where the smoke goes for longer than his name has been known in this particular city, this particular street. Smoke knows the answer is what makes this man complete. Ask me where I'm heading, I'll tell you what the smoke tells me, which is nothing in particular and everything worth seeing. From the angle of a man who moves knows the way it moves. Smoke knows the answer, and the answer never loses. The mirror doesn't lie the way that most mornings do. When everything feels manageable and the light comes through in the flattering kind of way that the middle of the day destroys. What the mirror sees is underneath all the noise. I stood in front of it once at the worst point of the year, when the business had collapsed and the people who were here last January weren't, and the account was what it was. What the mirror sees doesn't care about the cause. It just showed me the man who had to decide right then whether the version looking back would ever build again, or whether this was the place where the road chose to end. What the mirror sees is the truest kind of bend. I chose to build again, not loudly, not with a declaration. Just turned away from the glass and started the renovation of everything that needed it, from the inside going out. What the mirror sees now has earned the right to doubt. Nothing, not a single thing about what I've become, because the man in the mirror and the work that has been done are finally the same man, finally the same story. What the mirror sees is not performance, it's just glory. The cigarette, the suit, the look that goes past the frame of what anyone else can see comes from the same mirror conversation that happened in the heart, yeah. What the mirror sees is the man who's finally here, not the man he was pretending, not the version built for others. What the mirror sees doesn't need to recover from the distance between the real and the performed. What the mirror sees is what the silence has confirmed. talk about the vision. I'm already on the 3rd floor. They talk about the starting. I'll finish that in January. They talk about the obstacles. I went around every single one. Months ago in the dark, before anyone had begun. The distance between what a man says and what a man does is where I live. They talk, I build. They announce, I arrive. They talk, I build. That's the only way I survive. In a world full of noise and a shortage of the work, they talk, I build. Is the cold beneath the shirt. I had a colleague once who sent the email before the thing was done. Announced the result before the result had even run. Through the process it required, through the unglamorous middle. They talk, I build, is the answer to that riddle. The man in this photograph is not looking at the crowd. He's looking at the thing that hasn't happened out loud yet in anyone else's awareness, but already lies completely in his particular timeline. They talk, I build, is how he moves so cleanly. By the time the talking stops and the room turns to look for results, the man who built in silence has already moved past the adults who needed the announcement, who needed the stage and the mic. They talk, I build, is the most dangerous kind of life. I never celebrated when the deal finally closed. Never popped anything open. Never struck a pose for the camera or the moment or the people in the room. I just moved to the next thing like the wind was just a tune. Not because I wasn't grateful, not because it didn't matter, but because a celebration was a distraction from the chapter that was already opening before the last one finished. I never celebrated and nothing was diminished. My accountant called me once on the best quarter we had ever seen. Said we should do something to mark what this could mean. I said schedule Monday morning, same as every other week. I never celebrated, it's not the same as feeling weak. There's a version of success that needs the room to know, needs the dinner and the bottle, needs the moment and the glow of everybody witnessing the thing that just occurred. I never celebrated. Let the work be the last word. The cigarette between my lips burns at its own rate. Not faster for the victory, not slower for the weight of whatever comes on Tuesday after the good news Monday gave. I never celebrated. It's not a way to misbehave. It's just the understanding that the mountain doesn't end at any particular summit. It just bends into the next elevation, into the next required climb. I never celebrated because there was never enough time between the finishing of one thing and the starting of what's next. I never celebrated, and I've never felt more blessed. I knew it at 15, standing in a classroom full of men who wanted the same ordinary room to live their ordinary life in, with the ordinary plan, cut from different cloth. Before I understood what that meant. Not better, not superior, just wired for a different frequency that most people around me couldn't quite find the relevancy of what I was chasing. In the margins of the textbook, cut from different cloth, is what the margins took. Cut from different cloth doesn't mean the cloth is finer. Cut from different cloth just means the cut was minor. In the places everyone else was given the same pattern. Cut from different cloth is the most important factor. I don't fit the standard template of what a man is supposed to want. By the time he reaches 40, the house, the car, the fun of a life that looks finished from the outside looking in. Cut from different cloth is where I've always been. The man who looks sideways in the smoking, in the suit, has always seen the angle that the straight line doesn't suit. His particular kind of moving through the particular kind of world. Cut from different cloth is how this flag gets unfurled. I'm not asking you to get it, not asking you to follow. The path looks strange from outside, looks uncertain and looks hollow, until you see the destination the different cloth was cut for. Cut from different cloth is what the silence is the drum for. Every quiet move I've made, every sideways look I've given, cut from different cloth. It's just the way I've been living. I never asked for permission to become what I became. Never waited for the signal, never played that particular game of seeking the approval of the men who held the door, moving without permission is what the door is for. At 28 I decided, without consulting anyone alive, that the path they laid in front of me was not the one I'd drive. Through the years I had remaining on the road that I could see, moving without permission was the only thing for me. Moving without permission through every room I've entered. Moving without permission is how this man is centered. Not on what the crowd approves, not on what the table says. Moving without permission is how I earn my days. The men who wait for permission are waiting for a thing that arrives only for the people who have already been moving long enough to prove they don't need it to begin. Moving without permission is how you always win. I made enemies doing this. People don't like the movement of a man who doesn't check in, who treats every improvement of his situation as his own decision to make. Moving without permission is the most important stake. The look sideways in this image is not looking for approval. It's looking at the next thing that requires the removal of one more limitation, one more gate that wasn't his. Moving without permission is exactly what this is. If someone's waiting on you to tell you that you're ready to move on what you've built, to keep the hand steady on the thing you've been developing in the dark without a word, without permission is the move they haven't heard about yet, because you haven't made it loud or made it known. Moving without permission is how the best things are grown. In the silence of the chosen, not the silence of the afraid. Moving without permission is how this man got paid.
By the time you noticed I was gone, I'd already been gone for a month. Not physically, just mentally. The way a man exits a room before his body does, I already left while you were still talking. I stopped investing in the conversation somewhere around the third broken promise. Not with anger, not with announcement, just with the quiet withdrawal of a man who's done the math. I already left, and the math was honest. Has been somewhere else for weeks. Already left is the loudest thing a silent man speaks. I pack nothing because I own everything I need. Inside a version of myself that doesn't require your feed of validation or attention or the noise that comes with both. I already left, and I didn't need a coat. You'll figure it out eventually, when the room starts feeling different, when the answers get shorter, when the presence gets more distant than it's been in recent memory. That's when you'll understand I already left, the way a silent man plans. The cigarette between my lips burns on someone else's timeline. The smoke goes where it chooses, and so do I. I already left. It's not a threat, it's a statement of the man looking sideways at his own next destination. I already left the version of myself that needed staying in rooms that took more than they gave, in games worth never playing. I already left before the door closed on its own. The most powerful exit is the one nobody's shown.
I've been haunted since I started by the ghosts of better men, men who built in harder conditions with a shorter kind of pen to write their story with. Less resources, less runway. Ghosts of better men keep me working on a Sunday. My grandfather had nothing. At the age I had a platform. No internet, no network, no safety and no warmth. Reception from the industry, just the work and just the winner. Ghosts of better men are the most demanding splinter. Ghosts of better men, looking over everything I do. Ghosts of better men, every time I start to lose the thread of why it matters, the thread of why the cost is worth it. Ghosts of better men remind me of the purpose. There's a man in every lineage who didn't make it to the finish of what he was attempting when the years started to diminish. His capacity for continuing what he'd given his best years to. Ghosts of better men is what I'm carrying through. I look sideways sometimes at the thing I can't quite see in the frame of the photograph that the camera can't reach. The distance between now and the ghost of what could have been. Ghosts of better men is the most productive discipline. When I finish what I'm building, if I finish what I'm building, I want the ghost to rest in the knowledge that their willing was not wasted on a man who chose the comfortable instead. Ghosts of better men deserve to finally go to bed, because the work got done, because the silence produced. Ghosts of better men finally introduced to the version they were haunting into something they'd be proud of. Ghosts of better men is the most important love. There was a year I lived on borrowed time and borrowed credit, on the goodwill of men who hadn't yet regretted extending what they gave me before I'd earned the right. Borrowed time paid in full by the following winter night. I remember the specific weight of owing what what you can't return yet, of carrying the debt of someone else's trust on a wet Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Before the city had its coffee, borrowed time paid in full is the hardest kind of knowledge. Borrowed time paid in full, every cent of what it cost. Borrowed time paid in full, nothing gained, nothing lost, that couldn't be recovered in the years that followed after. Borrowed time paid in full is the foundation of this chapter. I don't talk about that year, not at tables, not at dinner, not to men who think I started as some kind of natural winner. I started in the red of someone else's patience. Borrowed time paid in full through the most unglamorous stations. The smoke from the cigarette reminds me of the mornings when I smoked outside the office of the man who gave the warnings that he wouldn't wait much longer for the promise to become proof. Borrowed time paid in full is the most important truth. In the soup, and I look at the distance between who I was then and what required the persistence of a man who paid it back before he paid himself. Borrowed time paid in full is the best thing on my shelf. Nothing sounds like this at 2 in the morning, when the city has stopped pretending, and the only warning of anything existing is the breath and the burn. Nothing sounds like this is the hardest thing to learn. I've tried other music for the hours that this covers, tried the upbeat and the hopeful and the ones that uncover emotions built for daylight, for the social and the scene. Nothing sounds like this for the hours in between. The dark blues knows the specific weight of a man who's done the day, not defeated and not finished, just temporarily away from the version of himself that the morning will require. Nothing sounds like this for the man who's still on fire.
register of 3 a.m.
Understands a language that most people
never comprehend,
because they're not awake for it,
because they're not the kind. Nothing sounds like this for the particular mind. The cigarette, the smoke, the suit still on the body, the look sideways at the distance where the next thing waits already.
for the man who hasn't slept yet,
'cause the thinking isn't done. Nothing sounds like this before the rise of the next sun.
if you're hearing this right now, at whatever hour you're in, something in the melody is reaching underneath your skin, to the part that nobody sees, to the part that doesn't perform.
Nothing sounds like this for the man outside the norm.
The man who moves in silence, the man who builds in dark. Nothing sounds like this
Is the music of that mark
between the man you've been
and the man you're becoming. Nothing sounds like this for the ones who keep on running
towards something worth the silence,
worth the years and worth the cost. Nothing sounds like this is the music of the almost lost, who found their way regardless.
You can buy what I have with the kind of money that arrives before the work does, before the years get funny. With the taking and the shaping of a man into his final form, paid with years is the only honest norm. I paid with the 30 that nobody documents, paid with the 31 and the 32 that went directly into something that didn't pay until the 38. Paid with years is how you arrive this late. The failure that it sounds like arriving after the work is done is arriving in the full light of something actually finished, something actually real. Paid with years is the only honest deal. The sax stomp on a grease tonight, playing something for the patient, for the men who built in decades, not in quarters and not statements of what they were about to do, but in what they actually did.
paid with years, is the language of the grid. I look sideways at the distance between where I started and where the cigarette and the suit and the departed versions of the younger man all converging to this moment. Paid with years is the most honest component. Tell me about the shortcut, don't show me the faster road. I've seen what arrives quickly, and I've seen how fast it goes. Back to where it came from without the roots to hold it down. Paid with years is the only solid ground. The only thing that stays when the market shifts and bends. Paid with years is where real building ends and real living begins. Nobody saw the Saturday I worked through without sleeping. Nobody saw the notebook with the numbers I was keeping. At 2 in the morning, when the idea finally landed, the work was never loud and it never was demanded. I didn't post the progress, didn't update anyone on the process, didn't need the check-in or the external kind of compass to tell me I was moving in the right direction or the wrong. The work was never loud, but it was always going on. A man I knew from earlier asked me how I got here so fast. I told him it wasn't fast. I told him it took everything that passed through 12 years of invisible, of consistent, and of quiet. The work was never loud, and that was the whole diet. The work was never loud, it was just always there. The work was never loud, most people never knew to care about the version happening in the dark before the result. The work was never loud, is the only difficult. The smoke that leaves this cigarette doesn't announce its direction. The man who lit it doesn't either, doesn't need the intersection of his process and the audience that gathers for the outcome. The work was never loud, and the outcome still came from
Every unglamorous morning, every decision made in private, every time I chose the work over anything beside it, that sparkled in the short term but cost in the long run. The work was never loud, but the work was always done. When they ask how you got here, tell them what it actually took. Not the version that sounds good, not the chapter of the book that starts after the struggle. Tell them what the real price was. The work was never loud, and it cost more than it does. On the surface of the story, the most men choose to tell. The work was never loud, and it saved me from the shell of the man I would have been if I'd chosen the easier sound. The work was never loud, is the most solid ground.